Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica Lahore.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kelela C.
And we are your Denver Divas, giving you another fabulous review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 5. But before we get into the episode, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the little bell to get the notifications, comment, interact with us, sit tight, sit back, and we'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Kelela, so this last episode was the ball challenge, okay? There's a lot to talk about. It is the bag ball. You brought your purse. Wow, that's actually really cute.
Honey, it's a Telfar. Actually, I really do want to promote that, though. It is a Black-owned luxury designer bag brand, and it's one of a kind. You should definitely go and find them. They're really hard to get, but you're supporting Black-owned business while also looking super cute. So go and do that.
So this is right after Kimura's elimination. They all come back and they immediately have to do, again, this ball challenge, which is 3 looks, 2 of which they don't have to create, but the third one is made entirely from scratch. There's not a lot that happens in this episode outside of them designing their outfits, talking about like what kind of looks they want to do, and going through like the little stations with RuPaul until Untucked. That's when they kind of get drama mama for the first time this season, and I'm curious. I do want to talk about that when we get there with you.
That's
we have a lot of
conversation between us two. Yeah,
that's definitely has to happen. I want to get right into the runway looks for the episode. This was the mixed bag, so this is something that has bag in the title that isn't necessarily like a traditional purse bag type of thing.
This is super cool. I love this part of the ball, this theme, because it really requires you to do that thing we say Simone does, where she thinks outside of the realms of what the challenge actually is. So it requires you to actually do that. You can't just put on a bag and go out there. We'll get to putting on a bag at one point in this episode, but it's super cool to me.
So this first runway down the line, we're just going to go through it real quick. Did we like it? Did we not like it? Okay, cheers or shady sip. So Denali's the first down. I said full on cheers. Like, that was great.
Cheers to you. Yeah. Cheers to Denali.
Joey J's was IV bag, and mine was like, it was like a very easy cheers. Like,
yes, it didn't look terrible.
So like very loose, like you did it, but whatever.
Yeah, like back here.
Lala Ree and Lala did. I think based off of my notes, I shady sipped the fuck out of this.
Yeah, it was bag of bones. Honestly, the me was that it didn't have as much as it should have. Yeah. So I will say that it is one of these for me.
Oh, mine's a shady sip.
The concept was cute, but
poorly executed. Elliot down the runway, and mine was like a loose cheers. Like, it fit the theme, wasn't bad at all.
Simple, cute.
Tamisha Iman, I said was a cheers. I love old lady drag, so
I love it too, but you could have done the old lady drag better, so keep it moving. It's a shady sip for me.
Simone, what I said, like a loose cheers is what I said for Simone.
Yes, I wish there was more padding on the hips, because if you look at the Diana Ross reference, she loves a reference. It's a Diana Ross reference, and Diana Ross had huge hips in that moment. Maybe those were her natural hips too. Who knows? Anyways, again, it was like, it wasn't all the way back here. It's like here.
Oh, mine's back here. Olivia Lux. Oh, this was boxing. It's a cheers because the look is great. It doesn't look good following Simone.
It's a cheers because the look is great. But when you look at it, obviously she didn't copy. Let's make that statement. She did not copy Simone. Y'all calm down out there. They had the looks before they came, but coming after that, it's like, yikes. Yeah, it's a cheers. It's a cheers.
Cheers. Gottmik is like a loose cheers for me. Wanted to take it further.
I fully cheers that.
Rosé, I said was a cheers. I thought it was cute.
It was cute. It was cute. Yep. It was cute. It was a cute look.
Tina, I said, is a shady sip for me.
It's just predictable at this point.
Yeah, it's not enough.
So I'm a shady sip that.
Shady sip for me. I don't have my drink, sorry, girl. Candy Muse, bag of tricks. I thought it was super cute. Cheers.
This look is a fucking cheers.
Utica. Dookie bag. I said I loved it. So cheers.
It was good. The look was good, but it was so good that like she didn't have to do all that.
The second one was Miss Moneybag. So business lady, they all got a purse that was like a credit card purse. And I'm gonna just say straight up that I was really disappointed with this runway from pretty much everybody except for maybe 2 or 3 of the 13 or 12 of them that were left. I thought that the bag was more of exciting than a lot of the looks, like the bag that they were all to hold.
Well, and I was always so confused about the bags because half of them didn't match the look. So I was like, did they choose these or were they given them? I didn't understand that point. Obviously, it's product placement. We love money for your God. But yeah, I could agree. There was not very many like wowzer kind of moments. I have some though.
But down the runway, Denali is first. I said I shady sipped this.
It was obviously Cruella de Vil inspired, which I'm like, I'm just so tired of like the same old drag references. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I can't decide if it's a shady sip or a cheers, so we're just gonna stay off of it.
Joey J is next on the runway, and I said shady sip. Too simple.
I'm not even picking up my glass for her. I'm kidding. I need a drink.
Lala Ree, I thought that it was simple, but I loved it, and that's why I liked it. I liked it because it had bold choices, so I cheersed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheers that. This is one of those moments where it's a club outfit, but it's such a good club outfit that I've not seen on anyone else.
Next, after Lala Ree, you get a cheers from both of us, is Elliot. I thought I like back here cheers it. It was predictable, but I didn't mind it.
Yes, I still am confused why Miss Moneybags came off as executive realness to everyone. Of course, yes, but it's like, how many times have you heard a drag queen saying, I own 51% of this company?
Tamisha Iman was next down. I said simple, not exciting. Maybe like baby cheers.
It's for me. Girl, take that shit back to Ross Cross Dress for Less, honey.
Simone, I said cheers.
Cheers. No, total cheers.
Olivia Lux was down, and I said this was like a simple cheers, like.
No.
Shady sip. Gottmik was next, and I shady sip this.
Oh no! You're not shady sipping this.
I am with my face.
She was giving you futuristic business bitch with the big. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into it too much. It's a whole cheers for me.
After Gottmik down the runway, this was Rosé, and I cheers this.
I love this reference. This is a reference that is not executive realness like drag queens normally do it. It's a cheers. It's a cheers.
Tina Berner comes down next, and I cheers this as well.
See, I said I knew all 36. What does she wear?
Big hat, polka dots, very.
Oh, the houndstooth girl.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a houndstooth, was it?
Yeah, it was houndstooth.
I cheers to it. I said look like Meredith Blake. Like
because I don't want to see that stretch houndstooth ever again in my life.
Okay, so what are you doing? Cheersing it?
Here. It's like back here by my ear. I'm listening to my drink. I hear the ocean, and I'm drinking. Never seen houndstooth ever again in my life.
I cheers it. Candy, I shady sip it.
It's hard to cheers this, so I'm gonna have to bring it back here. I get where she was going. It just was not executed the way I wish I would have seen it.
Utica's next. I said cheers. Love it.
Cheers.
Okay, so that was the runway for the second round. The last one is where we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So this is bag drag. Everyone going to take a bunch of bags, purses, backpacks, anything that could be considered a bag that they provided them, cut them up, sew them into something runway couture, fashion forward moment. Okay. Yes. Molly is the first down the runway, and I am not mad at it. I don't think it's bad. I don't think that it's like the best on the runway. If she were not to have started, I think I'd be harder on it, but because she was the first one down, I wasn't mad. It was a constructed piece and it had a story.
I wish there was more on the stuff, on those things. If there was more up there, like more flowers, that would have been cool. I also think she could have done without the sugar skull thing. I think you can represent your heritage and your culture without drag queens consistently doing the sugar skull thing all of the time. And it's cute, but when you do it in the way she did it, it just doesn't read the same way. But overall, it was a cheers for me. Like when you look at all the elements and the fact that she constructed that out of bags.
Yeah.
Girl, go ahead. Go on.
Cheers it too. Joey J was next on the runway, and I said it was cute, but it was super chaotic.
Yeah. Yeesh. That's how I feel about it. It was obviously Madonna reference. If you're gonna be doing something similar to that, you need to think a little more. And I just think it was all a mess, and the hair was messy, and we'll get to that later when we talk about some other stuff. But it just wasn't for me. I'm gonna shady sip it.
I shady sip it as well. Lala Ree was next on the line. I said, terrible, not good at all. Is the shady sip
I said terrible, not good at all. No, it was the worst. Single-handedly, I don't care what anybody says. People have brought up pictures of Jiggly today. People have brought up pictures of Alyssa Edwards. I don't care what you say. That was the worst look ever. But you know something? Can I tell you something? That Lala Ree charm. It did not save the look for me at all. There's no way you could save that look. You could have the most beat face, the cutest shoes on, and that look was just not it. It's like, girl, why did she not cut it up? I heard Raja also say this. Why didn't she put tissue paper in it and make some kind of like, it was gift bags, right? So put tissue paper in the gift bags and then make it go, or paper towels even from the bathroom, girl. Something could have been happening to make it look better. And she just didn't get it.
It was not good. It was a shady stuff.
It was terrible. I'm not even going to pick up my drink.
Elliot with 2 T's. I said that it was not bad at all. I actually didn't mind this look. I couldn't tell the bags. It was well constructed. It was a cheers for me.
Simple. Could not tell it was bags though, and it hit the mark. She did what she was supposed to do. It was simple, and I would wear that actually. Yeah, I would not wear that goddamn hair with it. She needs styling.
Her hair choices have been questionable the whole season for both.
Yeah. She did it. She did that.
Wow, look at you talking over here. Cheers.
I believe that.
Your first cheers from Kelela.
Cheers for Elliot with 2 T's.
Tamisha Iman. I was not mad at the way it fit her, but it was not like too much. Like the way it fit her body was not bad. The way it fit her body was great. Her choices of materials was not good. It was too much.
Yeah, I think it was honestly so representative of what I see Tamisha Iman as. Like, I know she's a good seamstress, and so she knew her proportions. I know she's been in the game a long time, so she knew her proportions. She knew what she would look good in. Mm-hmm. But it showed, like, I feel like she has terrible taste. And it just she doesn't have that, like, again, that oomph about her, that modernized version of drag. You don't have to look like a young girl, but you should have a newer fashion brain about yourself if you're doing drag today. I think it was terrible.
It was not good. Sorry.
I'm shady sipping it.
Shady sip it up. Then next down the line was Simone. And what I said is I didn't think it was great, but I didn't mind it. I said that it was passable because she was skinny.
But then you look at it on the main stage and you're like, okay, the thing is, she has that thing. She has that styling thing where she's like, okay, I can't sew and I'm not going to be able to make this look couture. But what I do know is that people love a nautical theme. I'm from LA. I can put all this together and I can make it look like I know what I'm doing. It worked. I don't know how it made it work, but it worked.
Because it was a bra anyway.
Yeah, it was just a bra. It was simple. I'm not giving her a full like, yes, God, cheers. But it worked. It worked.
After Simone was Olivia Lux, and I don't think that she was given. I wish that she would have been in the top because I actually really liked this look. It fit her well. I thought it was different, and I couldn't tell it was bags.
Her and one other person that were safe, I could have seen interchangeably in the top because it was so creative in their concept, right? To me, Olivia was giving you black, excellent, stupid love video.
Yeah.
It was like that version of it because she did different colors that worked with her skin tone, different hair color that worked with her skin tone. It was very chromatica. It was very relevant. Olivia Lux has this youthful new age of drag something to herself. And I love that. And I love that she's not going because she went off a little bit with that chiffon look or whatever, where she did the she looked a little old. She's giving me the young girl that I know she is now. And I love it. So cheers to you, Miss Olivia Lux. You'd slayed that and you should have been in the top or at least on the stage,
I completely agree. Gottmik was next on the runway, and so I really liked the accessories, makeup, and hair of it. I thought the outfit was super simplistic. I've over the week when she's posted images of like the photo of her look, you get to see a lot more detailing in it than I think on the runway. To me, it looked just like bags stacked on her leg and around her, but I understand like why she was in the top from this week, but in the moment, for sure, did not appreciate the look.
Yeah, see, for me though, to me, this is the most drag of today. Like where drag is at right now, it's in this like kind of alternative, like punky kind of moment. Like that's what's really popular in drag right now. I feel like. I mean, it was giving me that. She had the mullet going on. She had the metallics that people are loving right now in fabric and everything. It was just representative of where we're at right now in drag. Like she was giving you millennial or Gen Z, not even millennial. She was giving me Gen Z drag.
It's a loose cheers for me for Gottmik.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a cheers because to me it was not the best of this segment, but the closest to the best.
Rosé was next on the runway. And I personally, I think that's something I would wear. Rosé's was, in my opinion, one of my favorites.
I could see you making that in this challenge for sure.
Yeah.
That hair, sickening. I don't know who made that, but congrats to you. If it was going to be worn with any outfit, because I was looking at it, I was like, what could she have brought that for? Like, there's no way that works with anything other than this space alien robotic gig.
Yeah.
And it works perfect for that. It was so creative. This is a moment where I finally started to see Rosé's brain and was like, okay, you are creative, you are talented in other things than what you keep spewing your mouth about. We live. It was the first time I saw her doing something for Rosé and it not coming off like it was made for, like she's doing it for Drag Race.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
She felt comfortable with that. It wasn't to win. It wasn't to do anything. It felt like it was naturally, authentically Rosé.
Tina Berner is next on the runway, and it's more red and yellow. I understand it's the theme, it's the brand. It's a well-constructed garment. Like, that's the challenge of this. Are you able to put something together on your body? So I give a cheers to that. Am I a fan of the look as a whole? Not so much, but it still did the job for me.
The makeup was bothering me and the size of the hair was bothering me. She could have used bigger hair if she was going to do that makeup, or bigger makeup if she was going to do that hair. The red and yellow, I think we just have to accept it at this point. I don't think this is the last time we're going to see red and yellow for Miss Tina Berner. I will say that it looked like off the rack to me. Not off the rack in the way of like it looked bad. It looks like it was bought, which is good. Like
okay, it looked like an actual garment that you could go and get.
It looked like an actual garment. It did not look pieced together. It did not look like bags. It did not look like she's obviously a seamstress, is what I'm trying to say. She made it look like it was fashion.
Next after Tina was Candy Muse. The notes that I said, not mad. The color and patterns made me think very 80s. The first note that I put on was like the intro to Sister Sister. Like the multiple blocked shapes, very bold 80s.
Okay.
So I was more impressed than I thought Candy was going to make something. So it was a cheers for me.
Absolutely. It's a cheers for me. And the only thing I would have changed about it, and she's with Olivia with me and the people who were safe that I could have interchanged in the top. The thing that I think would have sent Candy into the top is if she did a little bit better on her makeup. It was a little rancid. I thought it was just the lighting, and then I saw her in both places. I was like, nope, it's not the lighting.
She has a hard time moving fast.
Yeah, maybe so. But she also, the bags on her belts, or her on her skirt, it needed a belt. And honestly, they're backpacks, so they have those like buckle things on the back, the black straps.
They have
All
that.
she had to do was sew all of those together and leave the buckle, one buckle in the front, and weave it through, or even put belt loops on
Oh,
the
okay.
back.
Yeah.
Because what ended up happening, the reason I think she wasn't in the top is because it did look a little hodgepodge, because it looked like bags laid over bag, right, on her skirt. The top looked gorgeous. That you could buy that at Fashion Nova, you could buy that at Gen X. You know what I mean? That's not saying much as far as fashion goes, but you could buy it. But the skirt is what sent her to safe zone for me. And if she would have had that belt and it was long, because you know that's very popular right now to have the belt buckle, or not the belt, the seat belt kind of a belt. If she had it super long and sewed them all together and then cinched really tight there, top motherfucking diva. And we're gonna get there, but I totally understood what she was saying. I think she should have been on that stage, or at least Olivia. One of them should have been on that
Oh,
stage.
yeah, I don't think that Candy should have been on that stage. Utica. When people make exaggerated statements like, oh, this is the best thing that's been sewn in like a challenge that is down the runway, this was so good.
So good.
So
So fashion, very Montclair.
next level.
Yeah. There was reference there. There was actual fashion. It could be on any runway. Of course, the pattern is just what she was given.
Yeah.
But imagine that in a sickening pattern, like without the rainbows and unicorns on it. Imagine that. But even with the rainbows and unicorns, bitch, I know I sew. And I don't know that I could do that.
I couldn't do that.
I can put panels together. I'm learning the patterns and the panels and all that. And it looks like she just put sleeping bags together, right? But when you really look at the detailing of the cut and the sewing, and then that hood, girl, that hood. It was laid over. She has a zipper up it, but then it's laid over and it still zips down. And then you look really close, it's a double zipper. And then it has all this weight to it. There's I could keep going on forever. There's so much you could say about how great that is. And then the hair, the makeup. This really showed what kind of queen Utica really is and what Utica can really do, and took her out of that, forgive me for the pun, campy moment, because she's camping in the sleeping bag.
Oh,
but, I'm not a funny girl. Anyways, it took her out of that campy moment for me.
Left on the stage, everyone else is safe except for Rose, Joey J, Gottmik, Lala Ree, Tamisha Iman, and Utica. Those are the 6 that remain on the stage. So tops and bottoms. We find out that the bottoms of that group are Joey J, Lala Ree, and Tamisha, which is pretty obvious based off of the runways and especially that last runway. And for the top, based off of, and I feel like they really focused on that third runway more than the first 2, especially for the top when it came down to it. And I definitely saw Rose, Utica, and Gottmik in the top 3.
Yes, for sure. I definitely think that they focus on the third look more than any other one, because without that, there are some people like Rose wouldn't have been in the top for me if they were focused on the first 2.
Got it. For sure.
The third one sent her into the top for me. And if they weren't focused on the first, or if they were focused on just the first 2, I would have put Olivia or Candy in the top.
I could see Olivia.
Olivia first, and then Candy.
Of these, of all the critiques and everything that they get, they find out that the winner is Gottmik. You can see like ultimate disappointment on Utica's face. I definitely thought it was going to be Utica. From all 3 of them up against Gottmik, and that I know it was really tough, but I really think that Utica took the interpretation of each of them very differently.
Yeah, I think if we focus on the third look, Utica wins. If we're focused on the second look, to me, I know you didn't really like that, but the business, and I'll tell you this, I think Gottmik won because RuPaul, when they broke it down, as far as tops and bottoms go, they may have looked at the third, but when they broke it down, Gottmik's second look to RuPaul and Michelle Visage was over the hill for them more than Utica's was. So when you compare them both, they liked both looks in the third. But when you compare the second one, they liked Gottmik's more than they liked Utica's. that's just how the cookie crumbled.
Gottmik was the winner that was decided, though. Bottom two lip syncing against each other end up being Lala Ree and Joey J. It was pretty clear that Lala Ree was the winner of that lip sync. When she says, and it's not like blowing smoke up your ass, when people say, I'm giving you the like Lala Ree experience, she really has a different kind of charisma when she performs than I feel like I've seen a lot of people from Drag Race showcase. Joey J went home, and so we're down to 11 queens remaining in the competition. But there's another big thing that happened in this episode. So Untucked really went from 0 to 60 super quick. When all of the entertainers were backstage, it went from just like talking about the critiques and talking about your opinions, and it escalated super quick. So what are your thoughts on this feud between Candy and Tamisha in Untucked?
So I think it's a very common trope of drag in general that the older girls typically treat the younger girls in that way, and vice versa. The younger girls don't always appreciate the older girls. My issue with this specific situation is that Tamisha typically does say stuff like she said. She walked in, the question was not, so let me set you up. You already watched the episode. Tina asked the question, who's in the tops, who's in the bottoms? Let's talk about it. Now, I will say Tina also interrupted and said, well, let me just tell you what I think. So she kind of gave her opinion as well and set up that vibe already, opinion, which I already know Tina Berner to be that way. But Miss Tamisha did not have to say she did not like people. Like, why are you saying that? That was not the question. The question was who's in the top and the bottom. Just say, I appreciate you girls. You do drag. I've been in the business for a long time. I appreciate what you did. You were clearly in the top. We were clearly in the bottoms. You already know this. We don't need to talk about it anymore. End of story. She purposely said, and then doubled down and said it twice, that I don't like some of you girls in here because of your nasty attitudes, this, and this. Was at the time, obviously, this is TV. So thank you for doing this, Tamisha. I appreciate you for saying what you said. You gave us life on a Friday night and we were all living. Thank you. But I will tell you damn good and well, if you said that to me in the dressing room, if you came out and I said, at Ultimate Queen, and I said, who is all in the tops and the bottoms? Who do y'all think? And then you said you don't like me and that I'm arrogant. I probably am. And let me tell all y'all out there, if you were mad about Candy Muse, but you like me, you have an issue and you need to talk about your racial issues, because I would also react the exact same way.
So let's talk about that for a second. If you asked me why I didn't like you, if you asked me, like you said, Jessica, why don't you like me if you're a part of that? And I gave you the answer. How do you feel about that?
Okay, if I asked you, but I asked you afterwards, okay? I don't think Candy was actually mad about her actually saying arrogant after it was the second question was proposed, which is, are you talking to me? Are you talking about me? Why are you talking about me? And then she said, yeah, you're one of them, arrogant. Cool, that's fine and cool. That's would have to be in a vacuum, right? Like you just asked that question. Me and you are having a conversation about why do you not like me? That's a different story. When you walk through the door with that negative energy, and I'm someone in a dressing room, like I get heated anyways, and I get upset all the time anyways. So if you bring extra negative energy, you know this, if you bring negative energy in as well, that's not going to work for me. No, you, especially into, for all intents and purposes, you're in the bottom and I'm safe. So this is my dressing room at this, you know what I mean? You brought this into my world when I'm feeling good. And honestly, Candy had a little bit of issue with being safe. And we talked about how we understand that a little bit. Like when you're safe, you feel like you're not getting the critiques you need. So for me, it felt like Tamisha did not have to say that. And had Tamisha not said that, none of this would even be a thing. None of this would even be a thing. The arrogant thing, I can see kind of what people are saying about Candy, but also at the same time, I think people need to realize that when you are a big girl who is a person of color living in the Bronx with a bunch of straight people who don't always treat you correctly when you're trying to grow up, you grow this shell. And then you're working in a drag scene. You have a drag family who's been successful. There's a lot that Candy has built up that I hope she talks about for vulnerability reasons. I think that if Tamisha got the time to know Candy beforehand and didn't just automatically write off the young queens and the young queens wrote off her, then maybe it wouldn't have happened that way. I just think that Tamisha didn't have to do what she did, and it wouldn't have happened that way. Because Candy is obviously, you already knew this. She was not stupid. She knew that when she said that, she was about to get a rise out of Candy. And to me, that is instigating. And like Gottmik said, when they started to almost fight, she's like, stop antagonizing her. Tamisha was trying to get that response. So if Tamisha's mad about that response, honey, she was asking for it. And like I said, if you don't like Candy, but you like me, I would do the exact same thing. So you better unfollow me now, girl.
What? Okay, so how do you respond then when Candy kind of comes for people?
When Candy comes for people, otherwise, I think it is.
When it's not prompted, when it's not asked, and it's just like said really up front. Is that the same thing? Candy's saying it because it's going to get a rise out of somebody, regardless if it's the truth or not, or if it's her truth.
Right. I think it's similarly. Come on, Arkansas. I think it's similarly as bad, but the difference is there was an actual question asked that deserved an answer, and Tamisha kept defending herself, saying, I answered your question. Girl, you didn't answer the question. You answered a different question, and the question wasn't asked. When Candy says stuff, yeah, it is out of the blue. It's out of nowhere, but it's not, there wasn't a question asked at all. She's just giving her opinion when maybe she shouldn't have. I'm not defending that. I'm just saying it's not the same situation. There was a question asked, and Tamisha wanted to say, I don't like y'all. She took that as her opportunity to speak something into existence that she should have said at a different time, in my opinion. That's what I have to say about that. What do you think?
What do I think? I think very similarly to what you were saying. I don't think I think of it in the same context, but I have always seen Untucked as being a place where, regardless of what the question is, people are going to say exactly how they feel in that moment, even if it pertains to the situation or not. And Candy is just one of those people that's also not afraid to push back and ask about why you're saying this. But
Yeah.
when Tamisha said, I think that you're arrogant, it's different than when she says, oh, like the girls in Untucked being like, there's a bunch of us in here that think that you're really arrogant, and I think Candy took it in a way that like everyone was talking shit about her and everybody thought that she was arrogant. Everybody thought this, and it really just like Tamisha was like, I think this, like this is, and I think that's kind of what blew it up even more is that should have been a different conversation for a completely different time. But if Tamisha is going to say it however she wants to say it, just as much as Candy wants to say whatever she wants to say, Candy showed is this wrong to say that Candy showed a little bit of like she got under her skin? Like you gave Tamisha the power for you to get upset so quickly because you gave in to what she was doing. She was antagonizing you. Whereas it was not a good conversation at that point.
Yeah, she gave into what to me. That's what I'm saying. Tamisha
she could have said, "Oh, Tamisha, you think I'm arrogant? Great, wonderful. I don't really care."
Yeah, I would have just said, "Okay, girl, bye."
Yeah, and just leave it at that.
It would have kept going. It did keep going though. It didn't stop there. She said it twice, and the other girls chimed in. Joey chimed in. Rose chimed in, and at that point, I would have also felt very attacked in the moment. Very Laganja Stranja moment. I would have felt very attacked. So at the end of the day, the point of the story, the moral of the story is, girl, if the question is asked, answer the goddamn question. Don't say stuff. But then again, if you're on TV, do say stuff because I'm watching and I want to.
The moral of the story is take it not as seriously as you perceive it because it is just TV. And if they feel a certain way, they're working it out and they're making it work for TV for themselves.
Right, for sure. So, amen. We love drama. Thank you, Untucked. We love you.
That was really fun. I love the ball challenge. Make sure to comment below what you think of the looks, with our opinions, with the drama that's going on, and more. And again, this was your Denver Divas review of episode 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race season 13.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jess. I love you.
We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.